nearly lost my mind.
I've already lost my mind.
Oh, it's been gone.
Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network. Come on.
Let's get to our friend Rick at the CRPA. Rick, how are you?
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
and I'll be going back to Excremento early in the morning.
Oh,
so much fun.
That.
So sorry to hear.
Yeah, wear some boots while you go out there.
So, yeah. So, we've got a lot going on this week, so I'm going to go over some things just so everybody knows. Huge week for CRPA. We have our Capital Day, our first of two. This one is the one that has youth, men, women, and then we have a second one that will be coming up late summer, which will be only the women of our new CRPA program will be going up and lobbying on behalf of the fastest growing group within the firearms industry, as you know, Jeff, and that's women. So both of those are really good news. We're fighting still several bills. We unfortunately, in Assembly Public Safety, was not able to get Assembly Bill 1092 across. That was done by Leticia Castillo, who is heard throughout Southern California. Has been a guest on the other radio show that works with your radio show. But we fought really hard to get that one across, and just couldn't do it. Assembly Public Safety shut us down on a 7-2 vote along party lines. And instead, they're going to try to ramrod a different CCW bill through that will actually make it harder for everybody to get a CCW. So we're going to be fighting that bill this week. We're also going to be fighting a couple other bills that are designed to turn the FSC, which is the Firearms Safety Certificate, into a gun license, and also now requiring you to have to go do a live fire exercise before you can even apply for a FFC, which would be really hard if you don't already own a firearm.
Jeez.
Unbelievable.
I mean, stop you before you can even get started type of deal.
So lots of crazy bills going on, lots of crazy things coming down. We're trying to figure out what's going on in the pipeline. We're still waiting to hear on the national level what President Trump and Attorney General Bondi are going to do on some of the Second Amendment issues, and so that's tying up some court cases and giving us all a little bit of pins and needles right now. So April is a tough month because they have to get the bills out of the House of Origin. So like if it's in the Assembly, they have to get over to the Senate and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be battling every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the next few weeks.
Wow. I mean, like these last few years that you've been fighting, you've been busy as all heck. Now that you have some offense, now you're doing double work, it seems like, or quadruple work, I guess, as it is.
Right. Yeah, it's a pleasure to do this because I believe in it and I believe in the people. Probably the most heartening thing for me, Jimmy, has been you guys on this radio station fighting side by side with me every week. I cannot express enough gratitude for that. But also the fact that, I'm going to be greeted on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning by about 50 volunteers that have pulled the money out of their own pocket to be there at the Capitol and lobby for the rights of all 9+ million gun owners, which is just fantastic. And it's even more so when you realize that the opposition will be facing, which will outnumber us, has been paid for by your taxpayer dollars through programs like USAID and others. That is the heartening part of it for me, is we have people who care enough to stand up and fight for their rights, and that group is growing. And when Jeff and I first started talking on radio shows, that wasn't the case.
No, very true.
And it's such a thing that these are actual citizens fighting for the rights, not paid actors doing a job just to rile people up and find discourse within the citizenship. This is an amazing thing.
And it's incredible. And, I get notes every week of some of these people that are going out and meeting on Fridays, their assembly members and senators, and confronting them. These aren't, going to meet somebody that agrees with you. They're going to meet the opposition. Mm-hmm. And they're talking to them and telling them, no, you have people in your districts that don't agree with you, and this is why we don't agree with you. And they're keeping that pressure up, and I get to hear about that in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. And yes.
It's funny, too, because if you walked up to a conservative that was out protesting and asked him, why are you here, they'll tell you why they're here. But you see, guys, I mean, Charlie Kirk almost makes a living out of going out and asking these people on the left, what are they protesting? They have no clue.
No.
They're just there.
No, they have their emotions about things, but when they reach facts, they get shut down so quickly, and then that's where we need to be. We need to be prepared to give them answers that give them nowhere to run anymore, folks.
Well, I can tell you on the CCW bill, it was shocking that the chair, who's Assembly Member Schultz, said when we told him, hey, by moving it from 2 years to 4 years, he would lower the costs for the people and also give law enforcement a bit of a break so they could, service more CCW accounts and do a better job. And his reply after we had testified that there were many of single parents, mostly women, people of color, various ethnic groups that just it's a choice of food or the firearm and they can't afford it. His comment was, well, we're not doing this, but you know what? Maybe what we should do is raise the fees even higher, so people know.
And it's these people like these small groups, these groups that they say they advocate for and that they're fighting for. And in all honesty, what they're trying to do is suppress them and keep them down. So they're in necessity. They need these people to fight for them when they're fighting for themselves, and they're showing it right now. So, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, for anybody listening, it was very appalling to see just how in the open, despite everything we said in this last election, they're just doubling down. So we have to double down right back.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
what we're doing.
Yeah, I wish we had our money like they have our money.
I wish we could.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So do I. So we have to figure out ways to try to keep them from getting to our money and win whenever we can. And so we have some wins coming up, and I'll be happy to tell you once we get them finished.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
You know what? Real fast, because I know we had a question on YouTube and stuff. It's kind of perhaps maybe a little bit out of our range of what we speak about here. It says, ask Rick if Trump Bondi going after the Ninth Circuit Courts of Appeal in California yet. Is there? Can we say anything upon that? If there's any maybe on the horizon?
I think it's fair. I mean, the biggest thing it was hard to lose him in the assembly because he was a good guy, but it's a big win for all of us, and that was having the new attorney for the Central District here in the Ninth Circuit be appointed, which was Bill Saley. So we lost him in the assembly, which we'll now have a special election to replace him, but he is dogged and determined in answers to Attorney General Bondi, and having him within the Ninth Circuit should start to turn some things around, because then the judges have to look to some of those U.S. attorneys that are inside the district and have to follow suit with the administration. So getting some strong people like Bill Saley now as one of the deputy attorney generals is an incredible move that should help start to change some things in the Ninth Circuit.
Okay, look at that. Okay, so they're...
And now I'm going to...
Here it comes.
Here we go.
Anything?
Nope.
How come?
It would be my time on the radio if I get kicked with that question. So I look forward to it.
Of course, we're talking about this nonsensical
11% tax. I will tell you, I had somebody earlier this week tell me that when they met with Assemblyman Jackie Irwin, she absolutely had no idea that, when you figured out all the fees, it could be as high as 40% for purchasing different firearms. And she was like, that's wrong. That should have never happened. And the person in her office said, you think? Because you voted for it. And so it's like a lot of things that once they go through and we tell them what they did, they just either are or feign very well shock at what they did.
Well, we got to pass this bill so we can read it.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. This is why we don't do politics too much, because it's just mind-boggling at the stupidity of them.
I mean, we brought up that how convoluted and how fake they can be about making these arguments and all this, and then this is just another point on black and white paper about how ridiculous it is.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is why you don't have your butcher be your airplane pilot.
No.
It's because they don't know what they're doing, and that's what the people in Sacramento are doing with all these laws. They just, I know. I'll be even more crazy than this guy, and I'll make this, and I'll say this, and we'll do this. And then people look at you, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, a lot of it is people that receive money like Giffords and Brady and Everytown and Moms of Demand Action, and they bring stuff in by their attorneys that half of their, like as Jimmy said earlier, half their quote volunteers aren't volunteers, they're actors, they're people that are being paid to be there. And, you know, in a sense, so are some of those politicians, because they're taking big checks into their campaign coffers from those groups, and so they run their legislation, and they don't even know what it does or how it works. And that's obvious by some of the bills that we're pointing out this week.
All right, Rick.
Gee.
You got a yeoman's job in front of you. If anybody wants to donate their time, join, or donate some money to you, how do they get a hold of you?
CRPA.org. And if they have questions, they can reach out to us at contact@CRPA.org. And God bless both of you guys.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
So
and
much.
good luck up there in Sacramento. Like Jimmy said, wear tall boots.
Yes.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, Rick. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. I know. Back to doom and gloom. Okay, so now's the time.
Yes, it's time for you guys to call in. You're going to want to start it at 866-870-5752 at 866-870-5752. And yes, we are all over the internet and all. So if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, X, Instagram, leave your comment or question there. We'll get right to it, and we're already doing our best. Come on, let's go.
Give us a call. You're listening to Gunslingers right here on
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
On a long summer day.